right, Mega Von and YouTube, how's it going? This is Poteen going again. We're going to do another Lord of the Rings rotation video. This time we're going to do a Ruin Keeper Red Line. I noticed I haven't done one of those, and I've never done one with the new timestamp format, so that's what this one's going to be over. Just so you guys do know, just get this out of the way real fast. I do stream daily, EverQuest. I stream on Sundays and Mondays, and I am a EQ content creators, so be sure to check those out. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I play Dungeons and Dragons Online. On Wednesday, I actually play part of the stream with the Paladins Tavern, so be sure to check that out. It's been fun. We've done it 2 weeks straight, and it's been absolutely a great time. And also on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I do Lord of the Rings Online. And on Saturday from 7 to 9, I do the official LOTRO stream, Poteen's Saturday Tater Round. So be sure to check that out. Okay, so with that, let's get to the video. The video is going to be a Red Line Ruin Keeper. This is going to be a damage over time, fire build, more of a caster, stand and cast. The lightning one is going to be moving around. And I will do a video in the future of Blue Line and how I solo with them. I really enjoy that. That's probably my favorite way to play the Ruin Keeper. But also, that's just personal. So we're going to go over the traits, class, race, and virtues. Then we'll go over the LIs. Just kind of a quick little rotation thing I go through. And then we will do combat. Hopefully, we'll try to get to, we'll definitely get to the first boss. The first boss, it might be a little bit of trouble. We'll see how much we have to move around. The boss himself, I don't think I'll have too much trouble with. It's the worms afterwards that are kind of difficult. I will try to fight my way to the second boss, but the twins, I think, are going to be too much for me to handle. I just don't think I have enough survivability to take out both of them. I don't even think I'll have enough area effect to take out the first of the twins, but we'll check it out. All right. So if you do like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. We just got to 1,000 subs on YouTube. Absolutely amazing. So thank you guys so much. If the video should be out before that, Saturday, the 15th, we are going to be doing a giveaway on the Twitch stream from 9:30 to midnight. So be sure to check that out, Central Time. We will be doing giveaways. I will be showing the giveaways as we stream, okay? All right. But that is just a thank you for everything you guys have all done and all the support. It's absolutely been amazing. By the end of the month, I will officially have been playing pretty consistently for a year, and it's been absolutely amazing, way beyond what I thought would happen. So thank you guys so much. Okay, so with that, we're going to go with the Cleansing Flame. Now, this is damage over time using inductions, okay? So I'm just going to go over each one of them. The numbers and stuff I probably won't go over, just so you understand kind of how it does. I'm not going to break the numbers down. But we will do that. So with this one, it's deliberate address. So my tactical damage is increased, and that's 5%. So 5%, usually percentages, because it's a percentage of the whole, is much stronger than just a number like 10,000 or 1,000. So this one increases the damage of Fire Ridicule. At max rank, Fire Ridicule affects up to 3 targets. And that one will be, so Fire Ridicule is increased by 15%. I think that's this one right there. Okay, so that one is obviously area effect now. And then this one is Overflowing Confidence, Self-Motivation Heal, and Self-Motivation Power is increased by 20 and 60%. Tail of Rage, so fire skills increase the fire damage of the Ruin Keeper. This effect stacks up to 5 times. So that's pretty nice. This is one ability I really like. It's an area effect. It's an AoE Essence of Flame, so it's an AoE damage. But I will show you a trick at the rotation here. Volcanic Ruin Stone. This is one that you're going to place on the ground and just do damage over time. It's a great area effect one. Explosive Rhetoric, so increases the damage of Essence of Flame, which we just saw. We just got there. And then this one is going to do it yet again. So 3 Essence of Flame base targets. So it actually increases it to an AoE. Volcanic Rock, the Molten Rock. This is going to increase the Volcanic Ruin Stone damage by 30%. Thick Skin, so my physical mitigation is increased. Hasten Determination reduces the cooldown of self-motivation at max level. Self-motivation has no induction and can be used while moving. Self-motivation is this bad boy right here. It's kind of a get-out-of-jail heal card. You'll probably see me use it in here, but that is what it's for. Molten Flame. So fire skills reduce the armor of the target, so, you know, a debuff, never going to hurt you. Fire skills have a chance to briefly increase the target's vulnerability damage. That's always good. Scathing Mockery. This is an area effect. It has 3 seconds induction, and it does an AoE. It does damage and a dot. But I'll show you how to make that 3 seconds completely go away. You can make this an instant cast, and that's what I do on area effect targets and stuff. So, and that Scathing Mockery is the ability that has the longest induction. So you can, I just take the longest induction, I'm going to turn it into an instant cast. I'll show you how to do that. Afterburn, so increases fire damage over time by 25%. That's nice. Empowering Flame, Mystifying Flame. Proc reduces the Ruin Keeper's induction by 30% for 8 seconds. You'll see me use that, and it just automatically happens. I definitely use it a lot on this ability. And I'll show you what. Combustion. Okay. This is a fun one. So there's 2 abilities that are kind of just really fast, almost instant damage once you start to go into your damage side here on your meter. And those are Smoldering Wrath and Combustion. And I'll show you how those work. They're absolutely devastating damagers. And then Branded Marks, so +2 to Wrathfire. So it increases the pulse or DPS of it by 2. I do grab Ceaseless Argument only because it's one I can do on the move and it gives me a little bit of damage. And you'll see me use those here. Let's move those around. Okay. So in the blue line, I'm just increasing my will. Right now it's at 147. And it'll increase. And I always grab Mending Verse no matter which line I'm in. It's just a nice heal. Worth it in all of its ways. So I do usually drop it even if I'm in yellow or I'm in red. I love that ability. All right, so the ones that come in as you unlock the lines. This one would be Fire Infinity, which obviously does 20% Wrath of Flame damage and negative 10 to Fury of Storm damage. Rite of Blazing Fire. So this lets me tier up my Rite of Fire up to 3, which you'll see me use that. Scathing Retort reduces the cooldown of Smoldering Wrath. That's a nice one too, and it's just an automatic one. Essence of Fire is another. So this is the ability I'm going to double with, not Combustion, Scathing Mockery. So when I have this one unlocked, I can use Essence of Fire. It's going to do the damage over time and initial damage. But then read in the green there, it says your next fire skill has no induction. And that is huge. That is where I'm going to take my Scathing Mockery. It's a 3-second induction and make it an instant cast in an area effect. Absolutely love that ability. It's very, very fun. This is Master of Coronation. A fire has a place of stacking Masters of Coronation buff on the Runekeeper. At 5 stacks, their next right heals morale and has no induction. Extreme Fire. Searing Words damage is increased by 10% for each of the tier of the Rite of Fire target. And then Soothing Truth. Grants various bonuses depending on the fire ability. Scathing Truth, Combustion spreads to current tier of Rite of Fire of all enemies. Increases Smoldering Wrath damage by 30%. Essence of Fire or Essay of Fire initial damage is increased, and chance per battle attunement to fire is restoring power. All right, so that is our class traits. The next one is the ratios, which obviously it's going to be hit or miss. Some of them are going to be great. Some of them, they don't really matter. Obviously, Vitality, Unwritten Destiny is always nice. This one I will use. It has a long cooldown right now. I just used it in my last little run. So it's hit or miss, but it does have shadow mitigation. So that's really nice for fighting the big guys. Fire mitigation +1 for Flame Tempered or Flame Tempered. Virtuous Stout Axe, obviously wit, determination, and fortitude. Increases the actual virtues, which is very nice. Increases it by 1. And then Stout Shield, which I may dabble into, but probably not too much. Maybe for the boss, we'll see. Okay, that is the race traits. Now on to the virtues. The virtues, I'm going to be looking for the damage. See all the little red. Um, so all the red swords basically mean that that one is kind of a damage. I mean, it can have a variation of the two, but mostly it's going to be damage oriented. And the shields are going to be more of the defensive oriented. So that's another way you can kind of see, or you can just hover over and read them and decide which ones you're going to increase. But that is how, and then you click on them to earn. That's how that works. Okay. So the first one is wisdom. It's going to give me plus wisdom, tactical mastery rating, finesse rating, and then my passive is physical mastery and tactical mastery. Honesty, which is going to give me tactical rating. Will is increased and critical rating is increased, and also physical and tactical mastery rating. My bonus for my passive. Confidence is going to give me critical rating, finesse rating, evade rating, and then for my passive bonus, physical and tactical mastery. Patience, it's going to give me max power, evade rating, and critical rating. And then also my passive bonus is plus morale. That's the only one I have that's on a shield. So that is kind of interesting, just so everybody knows why I'm doing that, is the critical rating and the max power. Idealism, this is another one that's also just kind of good. And why I do it on red line, a little bit of mixed, is because I will be taking more damage than any of the other lines because I can't overheal. Which is how I stay alive in blue line, and I can't be mobile like you can in yellow. So idealism gives me fate, incoming healing rating, max morale, and max morale for passive. All right, so that is it for the traits. Let's go on to our allies. So my allies, I'm going to be using Herald of the Eagle, which is going to give me will, vitality, tactical mastery rating. I'm using damage over time, which is going to increase damage over time, physical, and tactical mastery. Wrath of Flame damage over time. So my Wrath of Flame is increased. It depends, level and stuff, everything can change, so that's why I'm not going over the numbers. But it will increase the Wrath of damage over time, and then Tactical Mastery rating. Target Wrath Fire Resistance. So target Wrath of Fire Resistance is decreased for the target, and my Finesse rating is increased. Target Shock Touch Resistant chance. Now I do use Shock Touch quite a bit, which you'll see me use here. But negative to target shocking touch resistant chance, and my finesse rating is increased. And then for my bottom one, I'm using tactical mastery rating. It's going to be very similar over here. I'm using Herald of the Eagle again, which is will, vitality, tactical mastery rating. And then single target attack damage. I've increased my single target attack to do more damage. My physical and tactical mastery rating is increased. Distracting flame cooldown is decreased. So distracting flame cooldown is decreased, and distracting flame damage increased, plus I got will to it. Rite of fire damage is increased, and tactical mastery is increased in the next one. Combustion damage, so combustion damage is increased, and my tactical mastery is increased. And then I went with tactical mastery rating again for the bottom. All right, so that's my elements. So here is the rotations a little bit. And I'll just go over the single target ones first. I do like to do a little bit of the heals. And the heals I'm going in this order too. I like to use Prelude of Hope. And then Bending Verse. This is how I'm going to heal myself. Sometimes, if I'm also trying to get off, I'll do Scribing, a new ending. Then I'll just rotate it backwards with Bending Verse first. And then Prelude to Hope. So that's my heals. I only got 2 of them. But I do have another one here, which is self-motivation, and a little bit of damage shield. You'll see me tamper into them, especially if I get myself in trouble. But here is the rotation I like to use for the first mob. Obviously, I'm going to go into my dots first. So the first one I like to do Rite of Fire, Fire Ridicule, and then Distracting Flame. Now this is the order I like to do them in also. Now, once these are done, these are all 3 of my dots. Okay, so that's why I like to use them, is I like the dots on them, I like to get them on there. Every one of them lasts for 21 seconds. And then it will open up the ability Smoldering Wrath. Now, in PvE, these 4 abilities will just slaughter everything. Now, what I will do every once in a while, because maybe my Smoldering Wrath is on cooldown, which the cooldown is 12 seconds. It's not super long. So by the time all the dots are done, usually you can use it again. But when I'm PvEing, which this is a 6-man dungeon, so this won't be the instance, or this won't be what's happening, but for this one it will. Or for PvE, this is how I use it. So I'll use Rite of Fire, Fire Ridicule, Distracting Flame, then Smoldering Wrath. If I go on to the next target, it'll be Rite of Fire, Fire Ridicule, Distracting Flame, and then Combustion. By then, Smoldering Wrath will be off, and then we'll be good to go. Then I just keep those rotations going, spot healing as I go. But another thing is, this is kind of cool. Rite of Fire does tier up to 3 times and 20% damage per increased tier. So you can stack this on them also. These other ones don't stack. But that is something interesting to kind of remember. So even if you'll see me fight these big guys here, I will do all the flames. Then I'll do Wrath, and then I'll probably start to do Rite again, just to tier those up again, which will make sense. This also does a little bit of tactical mitigation, so it debuffs them. All right, so that's the rotation I'm using there. Whenever I'm doing multiples or I miss pull, my other rotation is SA Fire. I use this because it's damage and then damage over time. It is single target, but I'm going to show you how to use it into DPS or into area effect. So I use SA Fire. Then I use Scathing Mockery. Now this would take the 3-second induction and makes an instant cast because over here your next fire skill has no induction. Then I'll use Essence of Flame. This is another area effect. And then I will use Essence of Winter. Okay, but another one up here is Flurry of Words. Now this is an area effect damager in an area. You'll see the square it goes into. So these are my area effect abilities. I do SA Fire, Scathing Mockery, Essence of Flame, Essence of Winter, and Flurry of Words. Now, if somebody else gets on, say I'm doing single target, some attacks me, I will touch them first with Shocking Touch. Then I will drop Flurry of Words, which you'll see me do here. And then I'll go through my rotation, which will be Essence of Fire, then Scathing Mockery, and Essence of Flame, and then so on. All right. Now, once again, I do have these abilities: Ceaseless Argument, Scribe Spark, and Essence of Storm. I do use these, but because they have no induction, I use them on the move. That's why these are over here. These are abilities you'll see me use definitely on the boss as I'm continuously healing myself and trying to do a little bit of damage. I'll use the ones that I can do while I'm moving. Also, we have Volcanic Ruin Stone. Now, I'm going to show you something really cool here. I like to put my mouse over in the corner here. And then what I do is I tap, so it's Shift 7 for me. I'm going to tap it twice. And it places it, see? And that's good enough to get all the area effect damage. So there's a little secret there. I also have my Interrupt, which is improved Fine Word. And I do have a Corruption. If I need any immobilizing abilities to get immobilized off me, I have this one, which is called Break the Bonds. To cleanse myself, I have Scribe a New Ending. To get an instant heal self-motivation, usually does about half of my health. And then I have Armor Elements. These are the ones to protect myself as I'm healing. I hope that makes sense. So let's get started here. Let's get ready to fight. So first guy, I'm going to put a heal on myself. There he is. And once again, I'm going to put the dots on. Then I'm going to put my my Smoldering Wrath. And then I'm going to stack Rite of Fire up. And I'll probably touch him so I can heal myself. Now we have an area effect. I'm going to use Combustion. I'm going to use... I guess I don't have... We're going to use Scathing Mockery or Smoldering Wrath. So as you see there, my Smoldering Wrath and my Combustion are my kind of end game, or my end of rotation. So I'm going to heal myself here. Oh, I guess I forgot to add too. I do have some heals up here. If I have to get into them, I have Epic of the Ages, and I have Word of Exaltation, which is another bubble. All right, so same thing here. I'm going to throw these on me. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to use my SA Fire and then my Scathing Mockery. Then you're going to see me use my stone. I'm going to heal my... And I do have my essence, my flurry of wound. Heal myself. I'm actually healing myself as I take this guy out. Now I'm going to use Smoldering Wrath. Ready? That's a channeled ability, and it is devastating. Then followed by combustion. There it is. So I had a little bit of area effect. Once I started my dots and my area effect, you can go to healing yourself then if you want. Totally up to you, but I think it's a great option. Now this one, we're going to try to drop these. Smoldering Wrath I could be able to, or Smoldering Wrath, and then combustion. Now I'm going to move this a bit. And I'm just going to do another area effect. And then Smolder. Oh. So basically I'm mixing single target with a little bit of area effect. And then I do like to heal myself before I go in. We're going to shock him because he's nowhere. Now we're going to do Smolder. And remember, we're going to put our fire rights up again. Right now. And combustion. Now he's going to do, yeah. I'm going to heal myself because I know he spawned another guy. And then I'm just going to heal myself because I know with what I have on there, and the volcanic ruin, or the volcanic ruin keeper stone, it's over. So I just stood there healing myself while I knew everything around me was going to kill him. Alright, same thing, we're going to start off with Essence of Fire, and then Combustion, or then Wolverine. Scathing Mockery. Now because I'm on the move, once again, we're just going to drop this, that, and then we're going to use Combustion. Boom. So when anything gets kind of close to me, I'm not afraid to use the Shocking Touch. I am more than willing to do that. Same thing again, we're going to go the Essence. I'm going to use this because I know because the worms are slower. So why I didn't use my Scathing Mockery right away is as long as it doesn't have an induction, it will not consume that ability, the Essence of Fire. So you can do that and then wait. And then I used the Scathing Mockery when I saw that the worms were closer. But the only reason I did that is they're slow. Alright, same thing. We're going to do some Smoldering Wrath. Now we're going to heal. And then... Oh, I guess I could have stacked weapons. I knew there was something off there. I'm going to do Mending Verse first, and then Prelude. And then we're just going to try to do Steve Smoldering Wrath to take care of it. There it is. It's a pretty good finisher, and you can do it a lot earlier than you think. Oh, here we go. Oh, they're almost crossing each other. Love it. Let's see if I can pull this guy by himself. I have no problem if I don't. Alright, so same thing. We're going to do this. Put on all three of my dots. Go Smoldering Wrath. And then start to do fire. Rite of Fire for the last two rotations. And then do Combustion. Now we got a little dot here. I'm going to use my quick heal, my quick ones, and then do Smoldering Wrath again. I probably should have touched him that time. Because I didn't handle that well, and I didn't do my touch. I took a little more damage than I probably should have. But the ones that spawn the worms at their feet, it's a way to kind of scale the dungeon, especially when you start to get up into your 70s and stuff. That's when they start to kind of do that. And it's fun, but it is something to think about. Those mobs are a bit hard. So it is definitely something. And I did not use my shotgun. I should have. Like now I should use a ray. Now. Just so I can get my fire. I would dot this. We'll just, you know what? We'll just go all three of the. See what he does once I put Smoldering Wrath on, because it should kill him. That was handled much better. But they do have a lot of hit. Alright, we're gonna do the same thing again. This time it's gonna be an area effect rotation because I know there's quite a few around. There we go. So here we go. Touch. Alright, there we go. I mean, those ones that drop the worms, you could go into the area effect rotation once the worms come out. I don't see why that would work at all. Same thing here, we're going to do these. There we go, that stone really messed him up. Alright, let's... Oh, we can't get him. We got him. We got him. Let's try to stack this up to 3 before we do skating. Smoldering Wrath, I apologize. Skither Mocker's area. Yeah, that was much better. There we go, we'll stun him. Now we're just gonna keep moving. There we go. I mean, like I said, it does take a little more damage, so it's nice to have that extra Mending burst heal that I was talking about. Why I dipped in the blue line. So now we're going to stack this up to do more. Now we know Fiery Right is up to tier 3, and that's going to do a lot more damage. Here we go, let's do some heals. Oh, he resisted me? Oh, likely story. So I'm going to go through all of them, Fire Ridicule, and now, because they're a little bit harder, I'm going back to the Rite of Fire twice, so I know I'm at stack. I'm at stack, because that will increase my Smoldering Wrath a bit. Oh, we killed him before. So what I'm doing there is I'm going Rite of Fire, Fire Ridicule, Distracting Flame, then I'm going back to Rite of Fire twice. Then I'm unlocking Smoldering Wrath. And that's only because this is a 6-man, and those guys are they have more hit points. There we go. I don't like this at all. So we're going to put some armor on. Now we're going to try this. We're going to drop this. We're going to do Fire Smoldering Wrath anyway. No, no. We're in trouble. Targeted the wrong guy. We're going to put Mending on again. Obviously, this went sideways on me, as it does. Oh, you're going to see me moving now. Ah! That was crazy. That should have never happened. That should have never happened. That's on me. I accidentally hit the boss. I was doing so good until I tried to tab. I tried to tab target and I hit the boss guy. Alright, we're good. We're good. No big deal. It was a clerical error. For sure, for sure. I didn't even want the double hold anyway. There's gonna be a guy around the corner. There he is. And there he is. Alright, let's get our stuff rolling. Alright, same thing. We're gonna see if we can beat the world. If we can kill him fast enough, they won't spawn the world. We're doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, shift 1. And now shift 2. And we're gonna just touch this guy. I'm gonna get a little heal off. We're gonna do all the instant cast. Alright. So this is tough. This guy I'm not excited about. Ugh. We're gonna try to do this. There we go. So that was pretty good. Let's try to cleanse ourselves. There we go, there's a shield. Gonna try to area effect real fast. He's about to go green on us. There we go. Now we're gonna keep moving here. Gonna get some heals rolling. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, we got out. We got out of there with more health than I thought. That's on there. We're gonna keep healing ourselves here. Yay! Heal, heal, heal. We're gonna touch. Poison for being mad to me. Okay, we're gonna do a big heal here. Interrupted that because that's what we do. There we go. We'll keep him here. This one we can kind of going. But we cast that on the move. Remember how I said we would be doing that? Here we are. This one we're gonna try to touch. Oh, never mind. I thought we would get away with that, but I realized other worms had showed up. Not a fan of them interrupting me. There we go, you're dead. There we go, now we just gotta survive the onslaught. There we go, we did it, yay! I thought we would do this, but I mean, obviously a lot of movement. Ooh, what do we got here? An upgrade? Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, cool. I like that. I'm not upset with that at all. So let's get to the next part, and then we will. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I can't take the last skills. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1. Shift 1, and then shift 2 if I have to. Same thing here. We'll do this. 1, 2, 3. And combustion. Once again, a 6-man dungeon, or instance, not a very difficult one, if that makes sense. It's not like crazy hard like some of the other 6-mans. There we go, we beat them. We don't like them spawning on us, you know, we don't want them spawning worms. There we go. Get some heals up in here. A volcanic rock, that's a nice spell. That's a sweet, sweet spell. And I'm just doing the shift 7 twice, that's it. 1. So that's why I'm dropping it kind of off to the side. Because it's wherever my mouse is, that's where they're dropping. Oh, look at that, we stopped another spawn. There we go, this is going to be bad. Gonna shock touch him. We're not at, so I don't think we'll kill him with it. She got it. Okay. We're just gonna trap this. Because man, are we in trouble. Oh, we'll let him fight. That seems like. There we go. Look at that. We saved ourselves because it wasn't the boss. We took 3 of them on, but because it wasn't the boss, we could do that. And I've just got to heal myself. Now, here's the thing. This last pull before the boss, or this other boss, this last pull sucks. Not this one. This one's going to be a worm kind of poison the ground one. The next one is 3 of those really hard skeletons that we already deal with. Alright, so that one was pretty nasty because of the poisons. And 3 of them, it's 3 of the harder worms. And now this one is 3 of the, like, undead, but they spawn the worms with them. And when they... So they do that about 25% health, and they lose their minds. And the worms that come out, they're not hard to kill, but they do a lot of damage. These ones right here. These are ancient burial rites. These are awful. we go. Let's do it. Let's hope I got enough health. Hey, read through my worm. There it is. See? So gross. They hit so hard. All right, so I think that's about it. As you can see, there's no way I'm going to take the bosses at that. So we'll go through the rotation one more time here. As I was saying here, because it's the 6-man instance, I was using Rite of Flame. Then I was using Fire Ridicule. Up here so you guys can see them. Then I'm using Distracting Flame. Then, before I was doing this one, normally you could just do this and then go straight to Smoldering Wrath. But, because these are a little bit harder, I actually did this. Because this is tiers up to 3. This is the rotation I used just to take the boss out that sometimes didn't let the worms, or not the boss, but the regular mobs, the whites out. So Fire, Ridicule, Distracting, Rite, Fire, Rite, Fire, and then Smoldering. And then if I had to, I added Combustion. Okay? But that's not normally the rotation. Normally it's just those ones. For area effect, one I like to start off with was Essence of Fire. Then Maki, or Scathing Mockery. Then I did Essence of Flame. Then Essence of Winter. Now, if you wanted to, if you had bosses a little bit more, you can add Flurry of Words before, like right in here. Or you can start off with them. Especially once you had multiple mobs and it was an accidental pull. Then you can do Shocking Flame first, then go into your area effect rotation. Also, I was dropping Volcanic Ruinstone with the AoE or with bosses. So that's also an excellent way to do that. Anytime I was moving around, especially with the boss, I was using 4, 5, 6. These have longer cooldowns, 5 and 6, but it's still not too bad. For heals, I was trying to constantly do this, especially when I was doing group pulls. I put these on first. A way to cleanse myself was Scribe of a New Ending, and self-motivation was how I got myself out of jail. Those out of jail cards. And then Armor of Elements. These bubbles are so small, though, that you really saw them disappear, like, right away. But other than that, that was about it. I do have a way to get out of my immobilizing stuff, which is Break of Bonds. But other than that, I think you can kind of understand a little bit of what he is doing and how this kind of operates. As always, I am not an expert. This is just kind of a rotation I use, especially when I'm doing instances or just PvE. So if you want to switch this stuff around, absolutely can. Not a big deal. This is just to kind of give you an understanding of how this operates and how you would feel comfortable playing it. So you can switch all this stuff around. I'm not an expert in any way, shape. But thank you guys so much. So with that, I'm going to log off. But before I do, I will tell you once again that I do stream daily. On Sundays and Mondays, I am an official EQ content creator, so be sure to check those out on my stream. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I play Dungeons & Dragons Online with controller. I use GameSir controllers. I really, really, really love those. And they're a sponsor of our streams. And then on Wednesday, though, on D&D, I play with the Paladin's Tavern. If you guys know him from the LOTRO community, then you do know who he is. And we do have a lot of fun there. So go check that out. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I play LOTRO from 9:30 to midnight Central, and I do that for all the times. And then Saturday, I actually do the official LOTRO stream from 7 to 9 Central Time. So if you have any questions, anything like that, leave them in the comments. I get to the comments every 2 weeks. So if you leave a comment, I will get to it and I will contact you, or I will reply to you on YouTube. But if you do need a hold of me for anything, do not hesitate to whisper me on Twitch, and I'll be happy to answer anything, or catch me on a stream, okay? So with that, now that this is over, and I will see you again in the next video, and may you continue your adventures with the Heart of Bahamut. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching my content and stuff. It has meant a ton to me, so thank you guys so much.